Hi everybody, sanibonani. Welcome to my channel. Igama lami ngoNtando Mdletshe, and on this channel sifunde incwadi ebhalwe ngolimi lwethu lesiZulu bese siza la sokhuluma ngazo le ndaba esifundile. Senzela laba phela abasuke bengenazo isikhathi sokufunda incwadi nalabo abasuke benqena nje ukufunda. Siyaphinda futhi sibuka ama reality shows ethu ala eMzansi bese siza la sokhuluma ngawo lama shows, senze ama reviews or ama recaps bese siyaphinda futhi sikhuluma nga any other issues avuka uma ngabe lama shows sesiwabukile kwi TV. Uma ngabe uqala ujoyina namhlanje and you really like our content, do not forget ukuthi upress usubscribe button la ngezansi bese uyaphinda futhi upressa i-notification bell la eduze kuka-subscribe ukuze phela uthole umyalezo uma ngabe umsebenzi omusha sesiwufakile. Namhlanje na-ke senza is it episode 7 living the dream with Somizi, and it's season 5. Uma ngabe iqala ilokhuzana ishow, it's a very sweet scene, Shem, very sweet. Somizi is surprising his helper whom he calls home or executives home executive with ilokhuzana ama gifts for abantwana bakhe. She's pregnant and she's expecting twins, so umnika this really nice designer prem with ingubo and stuff. It was so sweet, you guys. It was so sweet. I thought it was sweet that he did that. He seems to really, like, if you have him in his life, he will take care of you. He seems like that person even to his friends. Somizi. So that is one thing that you really cannot take away from him. The helper was very excited, very thankful. Shame, she seems to think like she's got like the best boss ever, and I like that scene, honestly. And then the next scene, I think Usomiz was meeting with Ulerato Singai, who is the wife of the late double HP. And if we look back, you guys, when Double HP passed, there was that issue where if family got Double HP just thought ukuthi unkosikazi wakhe was not really his wife because they had never gotten married. They did everything traditionally, kwalotsholwa and all of that, did a traditional wedding, but they never went to Home Affairs to sign. And if family didn't recognize her as the wife, I guess they just never liked her even when he was alive, because honestly, if they were there kwenziwa yonke into yamalobolo, why would they do that? And so Somizi wants to meet with her because I guess he is finding similarities in both their stories. So ufuna nje baxoxe ngaloko. Apparently, guys, she did win the case. She just won the case, or when they were shooting that scene, she had just won the case, and maybe she's gonna get izinto that she's entitled to, like izinto that belong to her husband. And so they talk about it. Somizi, apparently they're friends, and Somizi talks about how hard the journey has been for her, not just emotionally but financially as well, I guess. I mean, she's had to pay lawyers and all of that, especially because apparently they had to go to constitutional court or to the high court for like the final decision to be made. And yeah, but it's a sad story, you guys. She talks about how she was even left out when the funeral arrangements were made. She was left out from the obituary. Like, I felt like that was so mean of them. Like, that was mean. Like, in-laws can be mean, you guys. Like, they can be mean. They could just have said something, write something like she was a girlfriend, at least just don't leave her out, like, but she wasn't. So yeah, so I guess her marriage is recognized as a customary marriage now, and the family didn't win. I like that, you guys, because I think that it was really mean of them to do that to her. And so Somizi says people will be surprised to actually know what marriage, like same-sex couples, marriages are not treated the same as, the other marriages. And there is one viewer that actually did point that out when I did that video about Umuhale wanting or not wanting the 50% Somizi, and said that the two marriages are not treated the same, which is really funny, you guys, and it's surprising. Even though they're allowed to get married, but their marriages are not recognized in the same way. So Usomizi says the fact that it's unfair, it's an unfair treatment to the same-sex marriages, but in this instance this whole thing favors him, because if it was recognized, if their marriage was recognized as a customary marriage, then he would be entitled to give Umuhale the 50%, but he's not, because he's not getting the fair treatment because it's a gay marriage. I don't know if I'm explaining it in a way that people will understand it if they didn't watch the episode. But he says even though this time it's going to work in his favor, but it still concerns him, because what about the person that is not him and that has been married for a long time? Or what about a person that doesn't have a lot of money like him, being in that situation where he is left by his mohale, like he's been left, like, you know what I mean? For him, yeah, it favors him, but it still feels like it's something that needs to be fixed, because it's not fair. It's not a fair treatment. So it's like they don't have the same constitutional rights that other people have when it comes to marriage. And I understood that point. But he does say this time it does favor him. And he still has no intention of paying Umuhale anything that belongs to him. He has no intention of paying him, not even a cent. And then there is another scene where I don't know if that is his cousin. I've seen that girl on the show, but I don't know if it's his cousin or sister Usomizi, but they went with her to the gravesite. He goes to the gravesites a lot, you guys. I don't know if it's just for the show or this is just his life. He goes a lot to the gravesites. But she said impepho laphayana bayabonga to amadlozi and everything, and they left the flowers there. And I guess they had made arrangements as well. They meet with the tombstone designer, because they haven't put a tombstone in their mother's grave, and he says his mother is buried on top of his sister, so the grave is still new, and they didn't put a tombstone, but they're talking to the designers design enjani. So this guy is talking about building a house, so it's gonna be some fancy tombstone or whatever. He also talked about the fact that when he goes to the gravesite, he never really cries, because he just feels like for him it's just going there to connect with them. It's never really a sad thing for him when he goes there, which is a good thing for him, I guess. And then the next scene is Usomizi finally meeting up with Upalisa. They're going to talk about indaba yamahlawulo, I guess. Ubahumi wants to change her surname to Umhlongo. This thing has been going on too long, you guys. They really just need to now just take care of it and be done with it, honestly. And so I guess Upalisa had issues with the way that things have been done. Why have you waited this long? Someone says he hadn't had the time. And I guess Upalisa is not buying that. She says she felt disrespected, and she felt like her womb was disrespected. And she says sometimes she wonders if Somizi really realizes the gifts that she gave to him, because if it wasn't for her, he probably wouldn't have a daughter, and do you recognize that at least? Because even when you talk to people or do interviews or whatever about you being gay and all that, you never mention how maybe grateful you are about the fact that I gave you this one daughter. But I guess that conversation, even though Somizi said it was an uncomfortable conversation because she doesn't like serious conversations, it worked for them because they did iron things out, and Somizi did say thank you for the womb, and yeah. and they talk about the fact that I guess Upalisa just feels like it feels like she's just over it. She's just over talking about it. Like, it's either you do it or you don't. I don't care anymore. I just want my daughter to be okay, which I think honestly is fair. Like, Somizi, like, just khokha amahlawulo lawo afuna ubaba kaPalisa noma ngabe mangakanani. At this point, he has a right to demand whatever amount, because honestly, I do not understand why you will stay so long without paying. Just pay amahlawulo. And yeah, so but they agreed because they're gonna make arrangements. Upalisa feels like, but this thing has been done so many times. I've gone to my father so many times and asked him what he wants, and he will say how much he wants, but then nothing happens. You imagine now she's gonna have to go back and ask again, Dad, how much? How do you want it done, and all that. So yeah, she is feeling like, do I really want to deal with this now? But I guess they decided because they're going to deal with it. She is going to talk to her father, and then Somizi is going to send some people, whatever amount that they say they want. Somizi is going to send some people. Guys, amahlawulo kusengeyona imali engako anyway. So I don't understand ngoba unayo imali ukuthi ubehlaleleni. And then I guess ukuthi kuzokwenziwa some sebenzi after that. To thank amadlozi. Mhlambe that's why I reach Somizi, because uyawabonga amadlozi, uhleze bonga amadlozi. Anyway, and it's a Thanksgiving kind of a thing, and Obahumi becoming a woman or whatever, they're gonna do something like that, and yeah, I guess then she can change the surname after that. Anyway, there was the episode for today. You guys, there wasn't anything that exciting on this episode, but yeah, I guess they can't give us a drama every season. I was hoping that they're going to show us Somizi at least maybe talking to Ukhanyi at some point, since they have that issue where she didn't show up in Cape Town, and maybe we'll get to see how they resolve that. But yeah, no, it wasn't on this episode. Anyway, you guys, that was Living the Dream with Somizi. By the way, you guys, kuthiwa kuzwa ishow kaMohala in August. Is it in August or in July? So sisazobona amanye amadrama, mhlawumbe kusazofina kuqhamuka ezinye igaxa futhi. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before niphume kuyona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Nginithanda kakhulu.